Hey guys, welcome back to the shed where it is a rainy day here at the channel. And on rainy days, I like to review guns. So today we're going to review another budget gun. This is an Air Venturi Avenge-X Classic in the synthetic stock. But first, let's thank our sponsors, High Pressure Pneumatics. That's who provided this gun for review, as well as Air Venturi for working with High Pressure Pneumatics to get this in my hands. So thanks to those two great companies for that. And we're going to review this thing, and I have never even seen or touched one of these in real life other than having this box in my hand. So what we'll do first is I'll show you an unboxing. We'll go through it together. You guys can see everything that it comes with, and then we'll do my typical fashion of reviews. So we'll shoot it at 25 yards, we'll shoot it at 50 yards, and then we'll take it out to 100 yards, and I'll get full chronograph strings over my FX True Ballistics chrono. So we'll choose a scope to mount on here. I think because this is a budget gun, I'm going to mount one of my favorite budget scopes on here, which is the Orc Air Black Label. So you'll see that. I'll put links for the gun, the scope, and everything else I use in the comments for you guys. So with that said, let's jump right in and do an unboxing, get this thing started. All right, since it is wet, I don't want to put this down on the ground. So follow me and you'll be in a world of my really messy shed. You thought I was going to say imagination. Nope. So let's do the unboxing here. All right, let's see what's in this thing. Pretty nice packaging. I know I'm always a sucker for good packaging, so I like that. Kind of glossy, very nice. And here's the gun itself. It looks pretty well packaged. Before we even take that out, let's look at the accessories it comes with. Okay, we got a full color manual. I looked through this briefly already, and it's very detailed, so that will help you out. Always read your manual. All right, we got one magazine. Looks like it holds 10 or so shots, and this is in 22 cal. Oh, well, look at that. A big boy magazine. I didn't expect that. That's kind of cool. All right, good. We've got a O-ring kit, and look at that. In the O-ring kit appears to be even a spare poppet. So you are good for like 20 years with this gun. We got dowdy washers in there. Looks like every O-ring for the whole gun, and your Allen keys. And for the actual gun, we've got it in a nice plastic bag with some desiccant at the bottom. And let's take a look at this bad boy. All right. This thing's actually pretty slick. Okay, cool. I see it's got a single shot tray installed in there. Ooh, slug probe, or pin probe, I guess I should say. Okay, looks like we've got the blue is the low pressure gauge. Looks like you can even switch the charging handle from the left or right side. We're going to leave it on the right side since I'm a righty. We've got your bottle gauge. In this case, it's a tube. Very cool. Transfer port adjustment. So on the fly, you can just kind of restrict the airflow to the transfer port and lower your power, which is cool without any tools. That's kind of neat. Classic rifle style safety there. Side lever charging. Looks like it's got a barrel band right here. Oh, it's aluminum too. And I noticed the pick rail down here is not plastic. It is actually aluminum. We've got a port here. This is where you adjust your regulator. You could just stick a little tool in there and pull the rubber port off, and it'll expose a slot for the adjustment of the regulator. And then back here we have a similar one, and that is for adjusting this comb right here. So you can adjust your stock up and down. And looks like they already give you a sling swivel, metal one that's already in there. Very nice. Rubber buttstock. Looks like that can come off. I wonder if there's storage in there. I guess we'll have to see. And then this is a great feature of a budget gun. No fill probe. It actually has a Foster fitting and a very nice metal machined cover for it that threads right onto it. So you ain't losing that bad boy. But I think that's going to do it for the unboxing. So you get a reasonable amount of stuff. And next what we'll do is I'll go ahead, I'm going to mount this bad boy on here. This is an Orc Air Black Label scope. These have been really good, and they're about 350 bucks on Amazon, which is about the best price you're going to get for such a high quality scope. So these also play pretty nice with the scope cam. So we're going to use that. We'll put it on some Sunway photo mounts. I'll put links for all of that stuff in the comments and description for you guys if you're trying to build a budget gun. And just in case I didn't mention it, these Avenge-X Classics are retailing right now for about 500 bucks. So for 500 bucks plus the 350 for the scope and some pellets, you could have a pretty good setup for under $1,000, which is pretty cool. And then also these guns have a chassis available from Saber Tactical. So I'm going to try to get one of those for a future video and possibly set this thing up as a slug shooter and see if it's possible to have a budget NRL 22 shooter. But we will not focus on competition shooting with this. We're just going to do a standard review right out of the box, no tuning, and see how it shoots. So that's coming up next. All right, Kings, you probably noticed it's no longer a rainy day. It's actually a couple of weeks later. In that first day of filming, kind of the way she goes, it ended up getting really, really windy and stormy. And dude, we're trying to review a gun. It's not fair to you or the gun to sit there and try to review it in winds like that. So it's a calmer, nice fall day. Temperatures are down a little bit, so I expect that my velocity might be a little bit lower because of the colder air, which is actually kind of perfect because most people are going to use this gun in the fall for a squirrel gun. But for the purposes of today, what we're going to do is one projectile at the factory tune. So this thing is set at the factory to shoot like 18 grain pellets rated around, mine was at about 930, 940 out of the box. It'll maybe be a little bit less today because it's colder, but we're going to not even touch the hammer adjuster at the back or anything. Haven't touched the regulator, nothing. Just exactly how you would get this out of the box. And we're going to start there. In some subsequent videos, we might try to get some power tunes because keep in mind, you know, even though this gun is shooting at like 32 foot-pounds right now, it is capable, so saith the specs in the box, up to 50 foot-pounds, which is a ton. So I think in a later review, maybe we'll take a look at like some 25.39 grain pellets with a bigger tune and also some, maybe even some slugs. But for today, 18.13 grain JSBs, flying it around, I don't know, 9 to 920, we'll see. And I've also made one other change to this gun. I was having a little bit of fitment issues with the bigger of the two magazines that it comes with. The 15 rounder was hitting the bottom of the Orc Air scope. So what I did, I just made the executive decision to throw the Oneleaf Commander NV400 on here, which is a day-night scope. I really like this thing. And it just makes my job a little bit easier because I can just record right through the scope, so no bothering with scope cams or anything. So here's what we're going to do, guys. 25 yards, shoot some groups. 50 yards, shoot some groups. We'll take it out to 100. Factory tune, right out of the box. No adjustments. 18.13 pellets. All right, into the heated shooting shack. Brought to you by VEVOR. And I do have a full diesel because it is going to get cold. We've got that VEVOR heater there. But anyway, let's shift our focus to this gun. I'm actually super impressed with this. I wanted to just give you guys another just quick look. I know I gave you kind of a quick look on the unboxing, but one other thing, I found that this stock actually, hopefully I can do it with one hand without knocking this thing off here. It's like spring loaded and adjustable. So you can basically adjust your stock to where you want it just without any tools. So that's cool. It kind of goes up and down there. No tools. I've adjusted the cheek weld up a little bit because my scope is kind of high. And additionally, one thing I want you guys to know about this gun is it's modular. So that is super cool. There's a couple of Allen keys on the receiver here, screws right there. You can remove the whole barrel. It just pulls right out super easily. And then the actual slug probe that's in there has, I don't know if you can see it, there's some holes on it right there where you can stick an Allen key in it and unscrew it. That means you can easily change calibers on this gun. You can also change the air tube from a bottle. You can change stocks. There's all types of different things you can do to this gun. So sometimes when I review guns, I don't hang on to them. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hang on to it because there's lots of cool stuff out for it and still coming out for it. So there's a lot of aftermarket support. Additionally, I think I mentioned before, you can swap the charging handle over to the left side if you're a lefty. I like that it's got a bottle gauge and a reg gauge, and the reg is externally adjustable. So you are getting a ton of features for 500 bucks out of this gun. But anyway, enough jibba jabbering. Let's shoot this damn thing. All right, dude. So we're about to begin. And I've got this thing filled up to about 4,200 PSI. It does go to 4,500 PSI or about 310 bar, but right now it's filled a little bit under 300. In any case, we've got the FX True Ballistics chronograph here. I'm going to get our shot strings. We'll take a look at the efficiency. And if I didn't mention it before, the factory reg comes set right at around 2,000 PSI, 2,100 PSI, and I have not touched it. So it is right there. Gun is cold. It's been sitting for a while, so might have a couple little first shot anomalies, but I want to include that in the video. So let's go ahead and get started here. I've got terrible tinnitus, so I'm going to throw in some earplugs. Even though this gun is very quiet and does not need a suppressor at this tune, it is internally suppressed down there in the shroud. So that's pretty cool. Start a new string on this guy. I'll go ahead and take a second here to get ready on target. And I've got the bigger of the two included magazines with me. We're going to be shooting 15 rounds out of this magazine of the JSB Exact Jumbo Heavy 18.13. Like I said, no selecting any pellets out of the tin, just pulling them out randomly. And I do see there might be a couple imperfections in here. We're going to let it roll because we are reviewing this gun just as you would take it out of the box and maybe throw some pellets in it and shoot it. So I want to give you guys the realest experience possible with it. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Let me not forget to record, as I sometimes have been guilty of in the past. And these magazines are loading from the right-hand side of the gun. And I'll also add that this gun is capable of taking Umarex Gauntlet magazines, and the Umarex Gauntlet magazines, the 10 rounders, are like 13 bucks on Amazon. So I'll leave a link for that. You guys could load up on those. And here's the 10 round mag that it comes with. Okay. Well, guess what? Here's another one, but this is just a Umarex Gauntlet mag. I guess a lot of these budget guns can take the same mags. So that's a pretty good deal. And another kind of checklist item that this gun is awesome for, which is cheap and readily available magazines. But anyway, all right, let's get this thing started here. 25 yards. All right. And this gun should be zeroed. We're going to check. I might need to make an adjustment, but hopefully it'll be good enough just to review it and shoot some groups. And the nice thing about this scope is that it has a gyro in it, so I can see if I'm level or not without using like a bubble level or anything on top of it, which is pretty cool. Gonna get her leveled up and let's shoot for 25. All right, 948, a bit hot. $944, maybe from sitting. 933, okay. Let this reg settle in a little bit. Okay, so it looks like one flyer. We're right at about 935 FPS. So I guess the velocity didn't really go down much in the colder weather. The first couple of shots, maybe from sitting last night in the cold, went up a bit. But let me go ahead and take a quick, I'll pause this video on the scope cam and I'll take a quick re-zero and then we'll keep going. Okay, so that was 7 shots just to get it started. And I've re-zeroed this a little bit with the digital scope. And actually, I thought these were 15 round magazines. They're actually 16. I'm sitting here doing the math going, wait, I shot 7 shots and I have 9 left. So 16 round magazines actually for the bigger one. And then the other one that comes with is a 10. And I do have here also the stock 10 round magazine. And I ordered a Umarex Gauntlet magazine that says Umarex on the back, but it's the exact same thing. So we're going to probably use that too. But anyway, let's go ahead and we'll zoom in here. I'll shoot another group or two at 25 yards. Let's take a look how this thing is grouping. Okay, that was right where I expected it to be. Okay, same hole. Same hole. Same hole. All right, this is getting boring, right, guys? All right, so good. We got a good enough 25-0. I may be a little hair off to the left, but right at about 935, shooting a nice little one hole group at 25. So let me move that bad boy out to 50 and we'll launch some more projectiles at it. And let's see, I got 4 shots left in there. So that was what, 12 shots. And I'm at like 3,900 PSI. So pretty air efficient, even though it's only got a smaller tube reservoir. So let me go move that out and we'll do 50 next. All right, don't know if you can see my target's out there at 50. I've also got about a 6-inch popper that I'm going to put at 100. So that's the target we'll shoot at 100. Freshly painted, ready to go. And let's take a look at some numbers real quick from those first 12 shots. So looks like we're getting about 35 foot-pounds. Not bad. So average is 937, high is 948, low is 929. Standard deviation of 5, pretty respectable. Spread of 18, looks like my BC is 0.029. I'm going to adjust that in my scope there, and then we'll let it range and see what we can do at 50. Okay, I've got a 16 round magazine. Sorry about saying it was 15 earlier. I had miscounted. It is a 16 round magazine loaded up with randomly, total random, non-selected, non-weighed, non-sorted pellets out of that tin. We're going to let the ballistics of the NV400 dictate that target where it's going to land. So I'll range it with the onboard rangefinder, and we'll shoot some more shots over at 50. So let's see. First, I'll start the recording here. Okay, and if I range that, all right, so I've just ranged it. This scope will put a holdover on my target. I'm not sure if that'll come up on video or not. I think it does. Let's go ahead. We'll shoot the target right next to the other one that I shot at 25, and we'll let's do 5 shots at it. Okay, so those were all a little high. I wonder if maybe I entered my ballistics a little wrong or something. So let's move to this target here, and we'll just hold dead on. That's okay. Oh man. That was same hole. It's all same hole. Okay, so I think that was 5. Yeah, because we have 6 left. So I shot 5 at each. Let's see how we're doing on air. All right, so we've got 3,500 PSI left. So wow, that is a pretty good group at 50 yards. So here's what I'll do. Let's just go one more target over. We'll shoot these 6 rounds, and then I think I'll have at least 10 more rounds of air capacity to shoot at 100. Wind's picking up. You can see the grass blowing right there. All right. Oh, I got one more shot. Let's try to not be so hasty and center this one up real good. Okay. So we will go take a look at those in a minute. I'm going to run out my 100-yard target, and we will shoot that at 100. All right. Just in case I lose these stats while we're heading up there, we've got 27 shots, average 932.8, low 924.2, high 948.4, standard deviation of about 6, and a spread of 24.2. And my BC, it looked like I had it entered in a little low in there, which is probably explains why my 50 was off. But what I'm going to do is I'll put 2 targets out there at 100. We'll shoot a couple at one of them just to make sure we're on, and then we'll try to shoot for a group at 100. All right, for the final part here, we're going to shoot 100 yards. I've got a freshly painted target on the left, and you're going to see here when I start recording on this scope cam, it is definitely some wind back there. So let me zoom out, and you guys can kind of see it blowing in the leaves and the grass there. My holdover is at the bottom of my screen. So hopefully you guys can see that. If not, anyway, we'll see the groups. So I have about 3,200, 3,300 PSI left. So I think we should be able to get through this last magazine of 16 rounds. No problem. So my holdover is right at about 4. I don't know if you can see what my reticle looks like in the actual recording that this thing spits out. But let's send it. I might have missed that one. It's hard to hear it from there. Well, I heard that. I can see the wind kind of picking up and switching a little bit back there. Okay, I think I straight up missed that one. And I have one more shot. Let's try to make this one count. Okay. And I did notice the velocity went down a little bit. So we could probably tune some of that out if I actually had have tuned this gun. But let's take a look at our stats from all those shots. So high 948.4, low 920.7, average 930. All right. Standard deviation of like 6, which is pretty dang respectable. And spread of 27.7. And that was across 43 shots. And let me take a look. We are now a little under 3,000 PSI. So maybe like 2750, 2800. So we could still get a bunch more shots, but I think we are seeing a little bit of a stepping down velocity as that regulator is having to work a little bit less hard as it's, you know, the tank pressure is going down. Also, the gun's not broken in, so maybe that'll improve over time. But either way, let's go out there. We'll check the groups and we'll wrap up here. All right, walking up to our target. So this was our group at 25 yards, which is what I would expect. This was when I was messing around with the ballistics a little bit, so I didn't shoot the best group at 50 right there. And then once I aimed straight on, I was able to put that really respectable group at 50. So that's really dang good with 18 grain pellets. And then that was a 5-shot group, I think. And then this, I think, was a 6er. And that's pretty respectable too. So next, we'll walk out there and check on my hundo. And like, I just want you guys to see, like, it's definitely, the wind is blowing. So I think I missed a couple of those at the 6-inch plate. Neighbor's doing a little bit of construction out here, but looks like, yeah, I can see from here they were blowing off to the left. But with what we did get on target, we're still going to be able to see what kind of group we got. And actually, it's looking very respectable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I might have missed a couple. Oh, there's 2 on the same spot right there. So at least 12 on target. So I might have missed 3 getting blown off by the wind. But for the group size there, that's pretty dang good for a factory tune shooting little 18 grain pellets right out of the box without literally doing anything to the gun, not turning one Allen key or any adjustment whatsoever. That is definitely a dead squirrel at 100 yards with a budget gun right out of the box with no tuning. Not bad, folks. So I got back to the shed and I just realized that I did actually land all of the shots on here. So that's 1. That's actually 3 right there in the same spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right on the edge. I didn't hear them. I didn't think I hit it. But let's get a measuring tape and see what the actual group size was. So from the edge hits right there, right at about 3 inches center to center. And that's in some pretty good wind. And in all these reviews, you know, the one thing I definitely can't control is the wind. And it was pretty harsh today, but that is a pretty nice group at 100 yards for a factory tune without twisting one Allen key to make one adjustment just straight out of the box. Not bad. Next, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts. All right, guys, so there's another installment in our budget gun reviews. Some of you probably know I shoot for FX air guns. I'm a competition shooter. I'm used to very high-end stuff, and I can be a little bit of an air gun snob at times, sure. But what's important to me is getting more people into the sport, and a lot of people aren't going to want to spend $1,500, $2,500 on an air gun. They might be looking at more of a budget gun. So in terms of value that you get with the Air Venturi Avenge-X, it is there. The gun's modular. You can swap calibers. They've really thought of everything. Externally adjustable regulator, which is a must to me. You can put different stocks on it. The stock that it comes with is awesome as is. And it's a pretty accurate gun, as you guys saw. So I always try to give you guys the most honest reviews. Like, I literally took this out of the box and started shooting it. That's it. No tuning, no cherry picking groups. Whatever was shot down there, that's what you're going to see on film. So I hope that you guys thought that was pretty helpful and pretty impressive, no, to have a budget gun out of the box, not one Allen key to adjust anything on it other than the stock, and it's shooting like that with little 18 grain pellets at 100 yards. Not too bad. So anyway, I'm impressed with this thing. I am going to definitely hang on to this, and maybe in a couple of other videos we'll try to tune it for higher power, because like I said earlier, it is capable of 50 foot-pounds, and right now it's at about like 35. So we can turn this thing into a squirrel hammer with either some 25 grain pellets or maybe some 25-ish grain slugs. So we'll try that maybe next. But if you guys appreciate the work that I do on the channel and bringing you this stuff, I do have a little announcement. I now have a affiliate program with High Pressure Pneumatics. So as always, in my description and comment sections, I drop a ton of links, and there's all types of cool stuff in there. Like, for example, I'll drop this NV400 in there, and I think I might even have a coupon code for that. But always look through those, because there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. But now, if you see High Pressure Pneumatics links along with my Amazon links, both of those are affiliate links that help the channel. And that's how I stay non-monetized. I'm probably like the only guy not monetizing my channel, and I'm foregoing $300, $400, $500 a month just to make you guys not sit through commercials, which I think are lame. So that's how we power the channel, is through the affiliate links. So now I've got another program with High Pressure Pneumatics. Really appreciate you guys if you're using that. Thank you. That really helps me to keep the channel going and bring you this kind of content. So with that, that's going to do it. The Air Venturi Avenge-X from High Pressure Pneumatics. Definitely an excellent budget gun. Hope you guys thought it was helpful. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.